Life Lesson 101, created and performed by very own Morgan Karam.
I can see a swath of sinners sitting yonder, and they're acting like a pack of fools. Gazing into space, they let their minds wander instead of studying my mama's rules. You better pay attention. Build your comprehension. There's gonna be a quiz at your ascension. There will be a quiz. Not to mention any threat of hell. But if you're smart, you'll learn your lessons well. This is for you! Every back description of the promised land says you can reach it if you keep alert. Learning every line and every last commandment may not help you, but it couldn't hurt. First you gotta read them, then you gotta heed them. You never know when you're gonna need them. I'll share my mom's advice before I say farewell. You better start to learn your lessons well. I can see a swath of sinners sitting yonder, and they're acting like a pack of fools. Oh, gazing into space, they let their minds wander, instead of studying my mama's rules. You better pay attention, build your comprehension. There's gonna be a quiz in your ascension. Not to mention any threat of hell. Not to mention any threat of hell. I'll share my mom's advice before I say farewell. You better start to learn your lessons well. You better start to learn your lessons well. Life lesson number 1. Love yourself. Okay, I want everyone to close your eyes. Close your eyes. Yes, you too, Richard, close your eyes. Now think about one thing that you truly love about yourself. It can be small, it can be big, but really think about it. Take a deep breath in and out. Now open your eyes. Welcome to my show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for coming out tonight here in the wonderful Sutton Pavilion. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Morgan Karam, and I'd like to also introduce my amazing music director, Dan Williams. When I was a kid, my mom taught me life lessons. She found any moment that was hard or exciting or new as a moment to teach me something about life. Now, I could probably write 10 different cabarets about all the life lessons I've learned, but tonight is going to focus a bit on love. Now, all of these life lessons are numbered. As you can see, we've already learned life lesson number 1. What was life lesson number 1?
Love yourself.
Love yourself.
See, I told you there would be a quiz. Now, my mom always used to tell me life lessons 1 through 100 are the lessons I would learn from her. 101 and beyond are the lessons I would learn for myself one day. Now, all these life lessons are really special because they actually started with my great-grandmother. My mom and her grandma would always have these deep, meaningful conversations that always resulted in some sort of wisdom. Well, one day, this wisdom jokingly received a number. Years and years later, my mom had learned so many lessons that she knew she wanted to pass them on to me one day. Every time I think about these lessons, I feel like they connect me to my family and take me back in time to the moment when my great-grandmother first created them. My grandmother's love letters held in her trembling hand when she was 17. They were a world to her, they were her youth. She tied them with a bow 77 years ago. My grandmother's love letters so firmly got to know my great-grandmother. I was fairly young when she passed, but I truly feel like her memory lives on for all these lessons that I learned. And if her relationship with my mom is anything like my mom and I's, I can only imagine the endless hours they spent talking in her bedroom. Some things you never know, what makes the eagle fly or the southern wind blow. These things, they come, they go, like portents, omens, dreams. You never know. Picture this. A young baby Morgan, about 2 years old, the most adorable firecracker pigtails in her hair, strawberry shortcake sunglasses, and those jelly sandals that had the sparkles in them. Do you guys know those? I was adorable. Not only was I adorable, but I was so well behaved. I was the toddler where when I did anything wrong, I would send myself to timeout. I even called both my parents while writing this cabaret to get moments of inspiration where I did something wrong and learned a lesson from it. They had nothing. They both said, I never got in trouble. I guess you could say, I was practically perfect in every way. Practically perfect. Some people say each virtue virtually knows no bound. Each trait is great and patently sound. I'm practically perfect from head to toe. If I had fault, it would never dare to show. I'm so practically perfect in every way. Now when I would send myself to timeout, here's how it would go. My mom would just look at me and say, were you supposed to do that? And I would go, and off to timeout I went. I was practically perfect, and here's my aim. By the time I leave here, you all will be the same. You'll be practically perfect. Practically perfect. You will be practically perfect in every way. My mom is actually here tonight. Hi, Mom. She's the one screaming if you hear her screaming. I hope I made your first-time parent life easier. Now, my parents were actually the ones who introduced me to my love of music and performing. They would play me movies like Singing in the Rain, or they would play me the jazz music that they grew up with. When I was 7 years old, I first started taking voice lessons because I wanted to be a singer on American Idol, specifically a jazz singer. So for my first ever voice lesson, I brought in the song At Last by Etta James. I mean, what 7-year-old willingly chooses to sing that at their first ever voice lesson? I think I really fell in love with jazz music after hearing that song for the first time. That song is special because it was actually my parents' first dance song at their wedding. They would play that song throughout the house, and I would sit there imagining what it looked like at their wedding. Now, my mom taught me a couple life lessons about love. Life lesson number 1. Pop quiz, what was life lesson number 1?
Love yourself.
Love yourself, thank you. Life lesson number 2, love your family. Life lesson number 3, love your friends. Life lesson number 86, be brave enough to love someone with all your heart. Whether it's love for your family, your friends, maybe that special someone. I don't think anything quite encapsulates the feeling of love quite like jazz. This can't be love because I feel so well. No sobs, no sorrows, no sighs. This can't be love, I get no dizzy spells. My head to be loved. Boo-ba-doo-boo, this can't be love because I feel so well, but still I love to look in your eyes. Blue sky smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Blue birds singing a song, nothing but blue skies from now on. Never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurrying by when you're in love. My, how they fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Look at me. I'm as helpless as a kitten up a tree, and I feel like I'm clinging to a cloud. I can't understand, I get misty just holding your hand. Walk my way, and 1,000 violins begin to play. Or it might be the sound of your hello, that music I hear. I get misty the moment you're near. Something's got a hold on me, yeah. Oh, it must be love. Oh, something's got a hold on me right now, child. Oh, it must be love. Let me tell you now, I've got a feeling. I feel so strange. Everything about me seems to have changed. Step by step, I got a brand new walk. I even sound sweeter when I talk. I said, oh, 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 oh. I said, baby, oh, it must be love at last. My love has come along. My lonely days are over, and life is like a song. Oh yeah, at last the skies above are blue. My heart was wrapped up in clovers the night I looked at you. Oh yeah, yeah, and you smiled, oh, and then the spell was cast, and here we are in heaven. For you are mine at I think I've been in love before. It's hard to know for sure. Growing up, I always wanted a love like those in the movies. I wanted to feel what I saw between my parents. I had my first boyfriend, junior year of high school. He was one of my best friends since freshman year. So my love for him as a friend turned into a bigger love, and that felt like the plot of a movie. I mean, he was kind, he was funny, we got along so easily. You fell out of the sky, and suddenly Cupid aimed his arrow and got me, shot me my blues, bid me goodbye the moment that you fell out of the sky. My heart is pounding madly, it beats a wild tattoo. Explosions roar inside me, insisting I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. True, how can I deny the union of you and me could never be tragic? It's magic I do. Here's my reply. Thank heaven that you fell out of the sky. I don't see a miracle shining from the sky. I'm no good at statues and stories. I try. That's not what I think about. That's not what I see. I know what the sunlight can be. The light in the piazza. The light in the piazza. It's rushing up, it's pouring out, it's flying through the air, oh, through the air. Who knows what you call it, but it's there, it is there. All I see is all I want is tearing from inside. I see it now, I see it everywhere, it's everywhere, it's everything and everywhere. Fabrizio. The light in the piazza, I love. In high school, I was still the perfect child. I got straight A's, I had activities I was passionate about, never got a detention. So of course, I was going to be the perfect girlfriend. I mean, I had the boyfriend I always wanted. I was gonna wear the best outfit and hold his hand in the right way, but not be too clingy, and never have smelly breath, and always make sure my hair looked good, and make sure his friends think I'm funny, and always laugh at his jokes, and tell him I love you, and kiss him in the right way, and be perfect. Life lesson 100. Perfection is impossible. Months into us dating, my need to be perfect at every moment created so much anxiety for myself. I mean, I couldn't hold his hand without thinking about how my palm was sweating. I couldn't look at him without thinking I didn't have a pretty expression on my face. I couldn't enjoy being in a relationship. So I broke up with him. I ended a relationship with someone I loved because, in my mind, I couldn't be flawless. We have to say goodbye. All things have to end, but I keep insisting. I go on resisting. Why should I pretend? We pay for some mistakes we never should have made. So it seems we were living in dreams, but now those dreams fade. In a and you're not perfect. 'Cause if you were, I wouldn't have loved you. So I'm sorry for the million awful things I did and said, and the million other things I could have said and done instead. And I'm sorry you won't spend each minute growing old with me. I'm sorry that our life will never be. But I'm not perfect, and you're not perfect, and nothing's perfect. If we were perfect, we'd wake up one day unable to recall. If we had ever truly loved at It's funny. I had already learned life lesson 100. Perfection is impossible. But I had never put together that that could apply to love. After our breakup, I'm sitting in my car, alone, the rain pouring outside my window, and I go to call my mom because I need her advice. What was the lesson I was supposed to learn from all of that? Well, she didn't pick up. And in that moment, I took it as a sign from the universe that maybe I needed to learn this lesson on my own. Mother cannot guide you. Now you're on your own. Only me beside you. Still you are not alone. You are not alone. Truly, no one is alone. Mother isn't here now. Who knows what she'd say? Nothing's quite so clear now. Feel you've lost your way. You are not alone. Believe me, no one is alone. People make mistakes. Fathers, mothers, people make mistakes. Holding to their own. Thinking they're alone. Someone is on your side, someone else is not. While we're seeing our side, maybe we forgot they are not alone. No one is alone. Hard to see the light now. Just don't let it go. Things will turn out right now. We can make it so. Someone is on your side. No one is alone. Love is not meant to be perfect. It ebbs and it flows, much like life. It's because we experience everything that we get to feel so many butterflies in those perfect moments. Later, I called my mom again to tell her what I had learned. This time she did pick up. And she'd asked me, well, what are you going to number it? And I was a bit confused because usually she always numbers my lessons. But she said to me, you learned this one on your own. It's time you start numbering past 100. 101. When I went off to college, my mom gave me this necklace that has an engraved LL in it for all of our life lessons. I always wear it because I know that there is always a lesson to learn and someone guiding me along the way. Before I close out my show, I'd like to just say how grateful I am that I got to write and perform this piece tonight. It's meant so much to me. A huge thank you to Kathleen and Wrinn, my amazing partner. My amazing voice teacher, Lindsay, who sounded great tonight. And the biggest thank you to my inspiration for this entire piece, my beautiful, caring, and loving mom. This cabaret process has taught me so much. It's taught me how to be honest with myself. It's scary being vulnerable with all of you because guess what? I'm not perfect. None of us are. And why would we want to be? Life would be a lot less amazing if everything was perfect. I recommend getting your heart trampled on to anyone. I recommend biting off more than you can chew to anyone. Swallow it down. What a jagged little pill. It feels so good. Swimming in your stomach. Wait until the dust settles. You live, you learn, you love, you learn, you cry, you learn, you lose, you learn, you bleed, you learn, you scream, you learn, you live, you learn. I recommend walking around naked in your living room. I certainly do. I recommend sticking your foot in your mouth at any time. Feel free. Throw it down. The caution blocks you from the road. Hold it up to the race. You wait and see when the smoke clears. You live, you learn, you love, you learn, you cry, you learn, you lose, you learn, you bleed, you learn, you scream, you learn, you live, you learn. I'm going to take this final moment to review all the life lessons we've learned tonight, because I know some of you have already forgotten them. Kathleen has definitely already forgotten them. Life lessons 1 through 3. Love yourself, your family, and your friends. Number 86. Be brave enough to love someone with all your heart. Life lesson 100. Perfection is impossible. Life lesson 101. Love is not meant to be perfect. And I'm going to leave you all with a new one. Life lesson 125. We will never stop learning lessons. Wear it out the way a 3-year-old would do. Melt it down. You're gonna have to eventually anyway. The fire trucks are coming up around the bend. You live, you love, you cry, you learn, you bleed, you scream, you learn, you try, you learn, you sing, you learn.